Welcome to this explainer. Have you ever caught yourself just sitting there in a dark room at 2 a.m., wrapped up in a blanket, munching on snacks, and doing absolutely nothing of substance? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're diving deep into the roots of modern burnout. We're going to figure out why so many people today feel, well, completely dead inside. And we'll unpack how this feeling went from a super niche internet joke to a massive global psychological state.
So why do we feel like we have no future? And why is it literally so hard to just pick a movie to watch? Let's kick things off by looking at the internet subculture of dead inside gamers. Believe it or not, this whole thing actually traces back to 2014. There was this Dota 2 streamer, a la Dance, who famously blurted out during a match, "I am dead inside, I don't care about the game." Right around that exact same time, the anime Tokyo Ghoul dropped. That show featured a main character who becomes totally cold, empty, and just disconnected from the normal world. And what started out as this hyper-specific aesthetic for gamers who stayed up way past dawn, it slowly morphed into a global mood for millions of millennials and Gen Zers who are honestly just tired of trying.
I mean, the symptoms are almost painfully relatable. You've got this whole catalog of cinematic masterpieces to watch, right? Yet you spend the entire evening just endlessly scrolling TikTok. You constantly push back starting that new book or going for a run. You stay up insanely late, sacrificing sleep just to get a little bit of me time for the day. You know, revenge bedtime procrastination? Or maybe you absolutely dread answering simple text messages, and you're just living strictly weekend to weekend. These aren't just lazy habits, they're symptoms. It's a modern epidemic of emptiness, a whole generation running on empty and stuck in pure survival mode. Sociologist Corey Keyes and psychologist Adam Grant actually have a word for this widespread feeling of low energy. They call it languishing. Now, this isn't necessarily clinical depression. It's not a disease. It's more like a distinct absence of life energy. It's just stagnation. Adam Grant famously called this the dominant emotion of the pandemic era in a 2021 piece. But let's be real, this feeling of just going through the motions, that's been brewing for a lot longer than that.
Section 1. The paradox of choice, and why having more options actually hurts us.
So why are we languishing? Is it because life is just too hard, or maybe way too overwhelming? To really wrap our heads around this, we have to look back at Emil Durkheim, one of the founding fathers of sociology. He studied exactly when and why people massively lose their sense of meaning. Now, obviously, meaning vanishes during major crises like financial crashes. But Durkheim discovered something wild, this concept called anomie. He showed that people lose their sense of meaning not just during economic downturns, but also during sudden economic booms. When wealth and options absolutely skyrocket, the societal rules that usually tell us what is enough completely break down.
History actually gives us a brilliant example of this. During Italy's super rapid economic rise in the 1870s, suicides shockingly spiked by 36%. I know, right? Why? Because society's expectations were shifting way too